Okay, so this is an introduction to a dialogue that my friends and I, all my friends and associates, are trying to compile together. So we have Khadijah Khadijahs Creations, and we have myself, Miss Commentary Cleveland, um, and we're trying to come up with a few ideas that can bring people together in the community across the globe. And we're currently in Cleveland. We're from Cleveland. That's why Miss Commentary Cleveland. So I'm going to talk about some things that I've really been feeling like I've been experiencing just internally, emotionally. And it really seems like it started today. And we're doing an experiment. This is an impromptu experiment that myself and Miss Khadijah is going to do from Khadijah Creations as far as what she does and her craft. Her craft is she specializes uh, in readings. Her readings are inspired in multiple ways. Most of her readings are inspired, I would say, intuitively, and then a big portion of her readings and consultations, it seems like a bit of a consultation as well, are inspired by her background in numerology. But she is a dear friend of mine. We've been very, very close for many, many years, although we've lived in different states for the past few years. So I just thought about an experiment today. So this is very impromptu. We're going to see how this works out. I'm going to talk very sincerely, as I tend to do already, and I'm going to get very in depth and personal though. I don't know. I haven't done that in a long time. Become in depth on the air or recorded. But I'm going to do this because that is a big portion of my personality, is to be totally upfront, to be real downright real, and to get other people to be that way as well comfortably. So we're going to get started. So I was telling Miss Khadijah, I said earlier, I'm feeling a little needy. And I had a conversation personally with one of my children, and I was adult children, and I was telling my child, I was just breaking down some attributes that I had noticed when I was younger. I don't know if I'm going to say that attribute now, but as we go on, I may disclose what that attribute is, or was, or maybe is. It can still exist. I think whatever was can still be now. It's just all up to what you want to do. So right now in my life, right now today, I would say, I was just really paying attention. You know how you introspect, which I think is really good to do, so you can know where you are, so you can know where you stand. Just be aware of yourself. As I'm introspecting, I'm analyzing. I shouldn't use the word analyze, but I'm assessing. I'm assessing myself and the way I feel, because I'm thinking that the way I feel is out of scope of what it is for me in reality. So what it is for me in reality, I'm a single woman, meaning not attached, not committed, not even close to it. And yet I feel as if I'm not supposed to be at this particular time. So I'm trying to interpret, what does that mean? How do I interpret that feeling? I don't want to go long-winded, so let me get started, because I don't want this to be longer than one's attention span.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start here. So I have a tendency to give. I reach out to give when I feel needy. That is something I want to put high emphasis on. I don't know how many people do that. That's a great opening for a discussion. What does that mean exactly? And how well does that work when you have that format? So when I am needy, and when I say needy, let me be specific. I have an internal need. All needs, I think, are internal. However, my need feels very emotional, like an emotional need, the type of need like what you would call intimate need. and I don't mean intimate like salaciously, like I don't mean intimate like romantically. I'm talking about intimate meaning close. Because intimacy can be interpreted as just simply close. It doesn't mean romantic all the time. It doesn't mean sensuality all the time. Yeah. In this case, in essence, what I'm using the term, I'm speaking of closeness. Mm-hmm. So that desire and need that I have right now, this yearning for a need, I think I interpret it as, I first interpret it as, man, am I feeling lonely? And you have to be really, really careful to know how to assess yourself, to interpret it properly, because you don't want to call it one thing if it's another. Right. You want to know what origin is coming from. Right. So I'm like, is there something that is causing this feeling? Mm-hmm. So I always look at things like that, like, what is causing this feeling? Is this feeling because I'm in need? Mm-hmm. Like, what need is that? Am I hungry? Sometimes need can be physical. Yeah. An ideal of a physical need is hunger. Well, it's a physical pain that you can feel. You can feel a hunger pain. Yeah. But you know, if you pay attention, some emotional needs register as physical hunger needs. If you notice that sometimes when you are hungry, it interprets, or if you're angry or nervous, it interprets and manifests as a physical hunger. Of course, yeah. A physical craving. Yeah. And then, I noticed that, because I noticed that when something stresses me, it could be an instant stress, like an immediate stressor. Like for instance, like not stub your toe stress, because that could stress you. You know, if you hit your toe, that's a stress, and some people get an instant headache. Or you're not gonna get instantly hungry from hitting your toe, but a stressor like, sometimes if someone says my name really quickly and it sounds so urgent, but it almost sounds like something's happened, that can actually trigger me kind of like immediately I almost feel like I'll end up craving sugar for a moment. I've seen myself do that. Like something to bother me really quick. Sugar. And then all of a sudden I'll be eating candy right after.
Oh, okay. Is that an emotional, just emotional eating, you know?
I guess that is in a category
of.
It's
like a comfort.
I believe that is. I personally, that's something to investigate.
Yeah.
Perhaps that is one of the, but I noticed that even in my youth. I used to tell my friends back then, they thought it was funny. You know, real shit is funny, but it's serious sometimes when you start connecting the dots. Yeah, it is. So my one friend, her name is Dee, by the way. That's Miss Khadijahs' nickname too. So Dee told me back in the day, she was like, I said, I said, when I'm upset, I eat sweets, and I think it helps me. And she was like rolling, like, but now that I'm older and I'm seeing a connection, there's an actual connection to that. The sweet eating, maybe something would change in my blood sugar, maybe something would change in my metabolism at that particular time. But whatever the case, later in life, I discovered that your emotions, your level of how something affects you on your nerves, your emotions, or just stress, right? Just the stress itself triggered me to eat sweets. And when I would eat the sweet, I would feel satiated. Now I don't know if that was just a learned trend that I learned habitually and it became that way, or if that was an actual tell sign to my body chemistry actually changing it so drastically that I had to remedy it with the sweet. However, let's get back to the subject at hand. I mean, I may have gotten off course a little bit, but in a way that connects. So back to what I was saying about the need. Am I assessing, where is that need coming from? What is the origin? Did something prompt that need? Or is that need sudden because there is a time or an essence within the world, the universe, the atmosphere?
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too esoteric, but I can't help but to say atmosphere. Let's put it like this, environmental. I was looking at the environmental factor. I was looking for a moment, is this environmental or is this just internal? And it's just the environmental affecting the internal. or this just me internally, and now I'm trying to see how am I going to distribute it externally? What am I going to do? Because obviously we're feeding back, we're receiving and giving all the time.
Right.
We are interacting,
and that's right.
all the time.
And things are changing in our environment, outside of us, inside of us. You know, like you said, I can look at you, but I may not see the change because physically we stop changing. We stop physically growing, but internally we're still going through changes. Physiology part of our body. We're still going through changes, emotions, and different things. So it's hard for people to really. They don't know what the changes unless you communicate them what the changes are. But you know, there's changes happening every day. You know, every month, every week, we go through changes, and like I said, it's natural. Basically, it's like a natural. We part of the environment, really. Like the earth. We supposed to be in nature. We're not really supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And us not being connected to nature like we're supposed to.
So you're saying that without effort, we're going to be influenced by the atmosphere, the world, the earth, the nature, everything in nature, everything in creation is influencing us. Either we realize it or not. We don't have to acknowledge it for it to influence us.
Right. We don't have to acknowledge it, and
we should, is what you're saying. We should acknowledge it, but just because we don't doesn't mean it's stopping that ebb and flow of how things affect us.
Right. That's true. That's true. And I mean, I believe that the more connected that we get to nature, like when I went and took that retreat for the 3 days in May, I took a 3-day retreat, and I cut off my electronics a lot.
Yes.
Just so I can have a peace of mind.
Yes.
And I just cut it off, and I don't want to be bothered. I just want to just be at peace. I don't want to hear no news. I don't know TV. This is the first time I had a TV, and I don't watch TV.
Right.
But the TV was on because the guy Saturday came over here. He was real nice, and he hooked my TV up. But I cut everything off and just hear silence because I just want to be able to hear my mind and be able to be creative.
Yes.
Use what God gave us so we can just tune out all the negative, because there's a lot of negative stuff that comes with all this, electronics, and then it affects our body because our bodies,
our bodies are not doing what it was probably originally acclimated to do.
Right, because all we have is these electronics, and they affecting our body. You know what I'm saying, and giving us all these chemicals in our body, and we have to ground our feet. The chakras, how we're supposed to ground our, what's the sacral chakra? We have to ground, that's grounding, and just take off your shoes and ground your feet in nature so you can feel it through your body.
Let me ask you something that came to my mind, because we don't have the title to our upcoming lounge and show where it's going to be a variety of individuals that are either in collaboration with us already or that will become in collaboration with us. But this just come to my mind. This is just real. This is real. It's just come to my mind, very Adlib. For those who put up barriers, because barriers can occur because of understanding or misunderstandings. But for those who may have not an understanding of certain terminology that we're using today, or they just simply may not be aware, or if they're aware but they're not agreeable, how would you explain to them, in a nutshell, the grounding effect that you just explained? For instance, you mentioned chakras, but what if one is not a believer in that? What if one is against it? What if one is not a believer? It still exists, right?
Yeah.
The whole science of what you're explaining still exists, right?
Yeah, it does.
And even though that was one format and explanation, the existence of the feet grounding and just, I don't know, that sounds like a science that's beyond my ability to explain.
Yeah.
But that whole aspect is still real, no matter if we call it chakra or whatever else.
Balance.
It's still real, is what I'm trying to get across.
Yeah.
Because I do know that people ascribe to or subscribe to what they believe, and which is good. We can't help but do that. And what we believe comes from here. then it comes here, I'm assuming, or training. See what I'm saying? It's a gearing and a training effect, unless it's just innate, like you just had it already. You know, it didn't matter who you got it from. It didn't matter if there's someone taught you. I mean, but for those who have been trained to believe a certain way, are they going to miss certain knowledge, or will they still receive it and just do away with the title? Because some things have more than one titles and names, but they still have the same effect.
The same effect.
Yeah.
That's true. It's like God is 99 different names, so they say in Islam, but it's different, you know, but it's different ones, and He's all of those. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's basically, I feel like we all basically saying the same thing, but in different ways and different languages and different, you know.
I guess the broader your perspective and understanding and experience, you can make that determination on how to connect. I do believe the connection is probably more limited when you're not broad perspective. You don't know those many different avenues. But let me get back, because I done got lost, and I'm making this last longer than it should. Okay. So let me get back to the part where I was talking about the experiment. On my saying what I had been feeling, to see how close in proximity does it come to what Ms. D and Ms. Khadijah from Khadijah Kreations would state in her assessment, in her consultations, in her readings. She's a spiritual advisor. That's the term I should have said from the beginning. She considers herself a spiritual advisor. And my understanding of spiritual advising is an individual who is tapping into the understandings in a variety of ways, who has impressions and interpretations just by knowing knowledge that is attained in the studies of science relative, in her case, to astrology. Not astrology, numerology. I think this is her primary usage, but then also her experience of just interacting with individuals and the many years that she has invested in getting to know individuals and just knowing traits.
Yeah, because you know, before this numerology, I used to just be around somebody and it could pick up.
Yeah, before the numerology. Yeah.
I just pick up the energy, like, oh, you know, wow, I think you in that, and you know, and I'm like, how do I do that? I don't know how I do it, but I've studied it so long that I don't know how, but I can, like, if I'm around somebody, I'll know, you know, your personality, if it's a 3 or 1, or, you know, if I'm around it, you know, at a certain, or I'll know, like, what week that person is. Like, to me, certain Tauruses act differently. Like, the ones in the beginning are more, to me, they're a little bit more considerate.
Okay.
Than the ones in the third week, in my opinion. I mean, how I see, you know, the way I, you know, studied the individuals and the energy, you know, the ones in the third week are more like wilder, they want to be free, they don't want nobody hold them down. The ones in the beginning week are more like, you know, they more like the stable ones, they grounded, more like, you know what I'm saying? Fixated. They more fixated, they more like patient, you know, and they put up with a lot more than the ones in the third week. The ones in the third week are more like, I'm out, I'm done, I ain't staying.
Let me ask you a question.
You know, even when it comes to,
what if you did not know the profile of one's birthday and the dates and in correlation to the numbers? What if you did not know? Like you said earlier, like you knew people, you knew how to relate to people, you paid attention to the traits and the characteristics, and you would get the energy vibration from the people.
That's what I did in the beginning. Before I studied the numbers.
Right.
Numbers came later. So, you know what I'm saying? But,
right. So when you do that now, right? If you did that now, and then it discovered, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you're so good at this that even if a person didn't give you their profile, birthday, or nothing, that you would already just key in, because you've been doing it so long. You're already cued in. Yeah. And obviously it's an internal thing with you. Yeah. You're already cued in because of their traits and their talking and stuff. Right. So that right there is already like a giveaway of, okay, you're like, man, this person acts like a such and such. Right. So you could do this even in one number, but you just happen to test it. Let's say you do the observation and then you test it. Are you a number such and such? Is your birthday number? And it be on point. And it's like, I wish you could see her face.
Girl, right. And then people be looking at me when I be talking to people, they be like, how she Like, my daughter is like, Mommy, how you know he was a boxer? I'm like, I didn't know. He moved like one. Or I see him and I be like, I said, do you box? He's like, yeah, how you know that? Then he start talking about his boxing and, and my daughter like, well, you just went up to him, how you know that? I'm like,
have you ever?
His energy seemed like he would be into the boxing field, a discipline. I don't know. I just have an eye for seeing and picking up the energy.
Before you came back to Ohio, I had thought maybe it would be a good idea. I didn't know to whom or to when this would occur, but I thought it would be a good idea to have a show. Sometimes I'll say show. I don't know if it's a podcast. I don't know if it's going to be an actual brick and mortar, or if it's going to be co-host or just individually host. But I thought about a show, and I think a lot. But I thought of one of them, and this is just one of the ideas where people called in. I want people to call. I want people interactive. I don't want it to be just a one-man show driven show. I want it to be a community driven show where people are really interactive.
Okay, and that's what just happened yesterday.
And I want to sometimes be out on the street. I don't want to be on the street all the time because in the winter and the rain, sleet, and snow, I won't be out there. But I want to bring it because that's the type of vibration I got anyway. I like to just catch people and I love people cooperation. So that idea
she's on point because oh Lord. Now,
that is something.
I just got somebody on a camera yesterday at Windermere.
Yeah.
And he was like, see my leather pants, and I said, I ain't seen you in a month. And and I was like, tell me. He said, what you told me is true. I said, what did I tell you? Because I forgot. I forgot what I told you. Tell me what I said. Because I talk to people every day, right?
Yeah.
He like, you said I'll be going out of town next month, and I'm sure am. Look at my leather pants. I'm about to get ready, So I put him. And he's an entertainer, and he had people laughing. So I just got him on. I posted it on my Facebook page yesterday.
Right.
Because I said I wanted people to hear what he had to say.
Yes.
So I said, look, I meet people every day. I network with people. It's fun.
Everyday people. My titles changed a lot. I need to start writing stuff down because I'm just like,
but that's
too much.
Yeah, you on the go. You a freelancer. So I always wanted people to have the opportunity to express. Yeah.
I know that I'm a sparker and an influencer of communication. When I come in the room,
she's in the week of communication, y'all.
It helps people feel enlightened. But I can also be so enlightening that I have noticed years ago.
Yeah.
And this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I also gave people headaches.
Of course, because praise was the truth.
I would pay attention to their expression and their, and we're all subject, but not really, because I'm giving you a rundown of my qualities. We did start this topic and discussion, this dialogue. We started it off with me talking about what I was feeling right now. But let's jump around real quick, because there's some stuff, and
I'm excited.
we need to make sure that y'all know how to hang.
She just came out of nowhere with this one, but I love it.
But this is a jump around right now, so you got to be able to hang, got to be able to focus, pay attention. But this is introspection. This is the purpose of us having this dialogue. This is the purpose of why we're creating this. Is for people to introspect and to be free to speak. Okay. So years ago, I paid attention, and it wouldn't even be something that I would purposely mean to analyze. It just would stick out like a sore thumb and come to my mind like this is what it is. If you pay attention, how you are, it's how you are. But once you blend with another, that's another essence. That's another energy. It is. And a relationship. And I don't really have to be esoteric. I'm pretty in depth. But even when I don't want to be in depth, this reality is real. It's a realness. So I noticed, I used to pay attention, and I would try to curve my position and tone and energy because I knew that I was strong. Yeah. A lady said this over the phone that was never met me before. She was describing me. She was so description. I almost had a vision of her description at me and looking like I was looking at a picture. She was scaring me about how she describing my energy. And I'm like, is it that much? I don't want to be that much.
But look, the communication week, when the communication week is from the 3rd to the 10th. Okay, then the 3rd is already curious. It means justice, law, a truth, you know, straightforwardness. You know, they gonna get to the point, to the bottom of it. They gonna make you laugh while they get, you know, while you trying to express it. So you got all of that shit in one big ball, like, and she be on point. Like, I've been telling her this for years. Like, I am so excited to sit here right here because I didn't know this was gonna happen today. But
I didn't even know this was happening. I'm spontaneous. I don't know if the spontaneity is anywhere there.
That's awesome.
To me, that makes my heart, my blood through my veins.
She made a different part of my room. Now, see, normally I do a video over there. Now we on this side. This is awesome. I mean, this is like cool.
And we started from scratch.
What am I doing here?
We not start from scratch with our skill set and our ability because this is natural, but we start from scratch on the idea.
I'm gonna tell her, let's get a podcast, right?
Nope, this is how you grow. You grow because you inspire. You inspire because you believe. You believe and inspire, and then you do. And as you do, it gets bigger because you're living it.
Right.
So that's why I did this today because it was so. You actually the energy. You a mover.
Yeah.
Like I'm a thinker,
the day of endurance.
but you a mover.
What does endurance mean? What does endurance mean?
To endure. Like to me, the word endure to me means almost like to envelop. But endure really, to me, endure is like envelop. Like you're taking in.
Okay.
Like endurance.
The day of endurance.
Endurance. Most people say, well, endurance is like your strength, your forward motion.
Yeah. Somebody don't
know
how to
endurance,
sit their ass down.
Don't know how to sit their ass. Seems like it's a taking in.
Yeah, they just don't know how to sit down. Like I used to be told, sit down and watch a movie. Like, and I'm like, I'd rather, you know, listen to music. I'd rather dance. I'd rather, you know, the day of endurance. Somebody that's always up, that's always moving and moving and moving. And a lot of times I feel good when I'm moving because I'm feeling like I'm doing something.
It's
you know
alive.
I'm not just sitting on idle. But today I was like, I'm gonna be idle because I had a little kind of headache. I thought it was my tooth, but. You know, you come over here just busting out here with this beautiful day, like I'm just like flabbergasted. I was happy.
And some of us,
you know,
I believe, wilt. We become like a wilted flower. I can't say some of us. I think all human beings, if not functioning in the mode as the spirit was created to function, it will wilt, weaken.
Because it's not using its purpose.
Woo,
it's not
functioning. It's not functioning in its mode of being what it should be.
That's right.
Like if someone was to shut me down, which
that's hard to do. No, it's hard to shut her mouth. No, it's playing. But the weak of communication, how you gonna shut her down?
I mean, to shut down is cool.
No, it's cool.
And to be motivated to be quiet at the times is cool. You know, things that are supposed to occur, they should not feel like it's hard to do. What's supposed to happen is not going to be hard. Unless one is fighting against.
Right.
You make it hard. If you fighting against something that's supposed to be, you just made it hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard on naturally.
Because they don't want to change. Because it feels it's different. They don't know what to expect. This has never happened. So they're like, what's going on? You know, it's the thought of the unknown, I guess. The unknown.
Man, the more we talk, the more it goes further and
like
that hallway. Further. And we hope that people hanging with us. Whoever sees this, can you hang?
Thank you for coming.
Can you get
it? This is exciting. I love this.
Because look, it's like the more we talk, it's like connecting dots to another understanding. Another level of knowledge. Because when you said that, it made me think immediately like shutting down. Like even though I'm a communicator, a high communicator or whatever, I call it high communicator because it's a level of it that I can handle and not get a headache. I've gotten a headache though for myself. Not when I was younger, but as I get older, you know, I have to follow my ebb and my chi. I call it chi. I like the word chi. I don't even care about if it's oriented in the Asian community. I just like it.
Right.
Chi, the word. Sometimes words have always been a thing for me. When I was a kid, I got an auntie that I love.
I got that chi.
So words, you know, although everything has a meaning and a connotation, words always was alive to me and meant like people eat food. Like a person that love food.
Yeah.
Or a person that love the box or bike.
Right.
That's how words was for me. The love of weed. How about weed? Let's talk about that. People that love weed, that's how I love words.
Okay.
And the power of how words make me feel. Like, what I choose to say in my word usage and verbiage has a lot to do with how I feel about it.
I'm so glad.
So when I say chi, I think that as I get older, and it's interesting how this whole thing with communication and wanting to bring the people together, wanting people to feel comfortable, to feel like it's okay to be their truth. I think that's my main motivation. Let's be okay with our truth. That's my main motivation to want to speak. Let's be our main. Now I don't want to debate like I used to in my youth. I done grew tired of that.
Yeah, you used to be a debater.
Now debating is like, my age, I guess, makes me feel like it's useless. And I think with the age brought the wisdom.
Yeah.
It made me feel like it's not even necessary. I don't have to force you. You either got it or you don't. Because as you get older, you're getting selective as to who you want to be around compared to you. So back to the subject at hand, because I know we were like 40 minutes in probably.
Okay.
And timing is my bad sort in trying to
I got that little
speak.
clock up there if you need to look at it.
I think I could feel we've been rolling for like what, 30 to 40 minutes?
I love it, man.
But what I want to say is the communication that I have always had has been more direct and forceful. That even some of my friends used to say, do you know, talking to you made me feel like we was gonna fight, even though we're not fighting. It felt like I had to prepare to fight. And I'm like, wow, that's not cool.
Well.
I think I was just too dogmatic.
Well, no, I think something needed to be said and done, and you got on it, and they didn't want to. They refused it. They didn't want.
It's just too forceful.
Well, they probably needed it. They needed it. Whatever was done, because your timing. Do you think you got good timing?
I've always said I have impeccable timing.
You have
when it comes to
impeccable
knowing
timing
things about things.
You have impeccable
coming
timing.
to people.
And mine is too.
Yeah.
So sometimes my timing, I notice that my timing be on point.
Yeah.
Yours is on point on another level too.
Yeah.
So that's even, so sometimes when you go to people.
Break that timing down to people. Like, be specific to them so they can quite grasp it.
Like
somebody might be feeling this, but they might say, wait a minute, I need the intellectual part. Break that time. I think I got it, but break it down. When you say timing, you mean like on the notion of knowing stuff or showing up or just being at the right place at the right time.
Right place. Right, like right
and you
now.
Just happening, and you know how you know that?
Yeah.
Because people confirm it.
Right.
How did you know that? Did you know I was just thinking about you?
Yes.
How did you know? Do you know this was discussed today?
Yeah.
This is all your confirmation.
Look.
I want all of you to know that. This is all your confirmation.
That day that you called, I told you that my angel met me up there in the library that day. He told me I brought out the best in him. That one day we just started, I just said, take a picture of me. Yeah. That's all I said. Yeah. He said, you asked me to do that? And then, we just vibed, and he helped me on that computer. I wanted to go to sleep. I had to do an application. I was like, help me.
He was your energy that you provide to others.
He told, man.
He gave you that energy.
He gave me my smile because I didn't even smile in the picture.
But he energized you that day.
He did. And I didn't smile in not one of them pictures. When he took my picture first, I was like, I ain't never looked at that mean in no picture. I'm always a nice, friendly smile or something. Now, I just wasn't feeling it. And then as we talked and he just gave me that love and we just interacted, he helped me. He said, gave me that positive. And by the way, he was a positive super person. When I got the birthday, the day of new ideas, that's what that day means.
That's wonderful.
And he just was just a bunch of energy that I needed. We walked to the beach together. He taught me things. He read National Grid graphic. This dude he's like an encyclopedia. I'm like, what?
And you know what? In our culture, and we're just going. I mean, that's gonna be the hardest thing on us doing our dialogue shows. Is knowing how to stay within the region of our topics. We got so many that we just hit upon.
Right.
So this is an intro, you all, who all get an opportunity to review this. Give your opinion, give your take on what you believe, and even also
really needed.
Give us some input on if you want to be a part of this and when, and on what level do you want to make an addition, because I'm a very tribal. I like using the word tribal. That's a word that I like. You all know that I'm very very close to where you said tribal community. Tribal means community to me, unity to me. It means bond. It means family, and this is very healing, and that's the thing I believe in too. This is healing. You could be specific on what it is you want to heal, or you don't have to be specific, but you are healing because you're being real. Realness is a healing. It's an aspect to learning. You can't heal without being real. You know, that should go on a t-shirt. For whoever do t-shirts, put it on the hat. Can't heal without being real.
That's your t-shirts to say.
Something.
Because you just made it up. What did you just say? Hold on. You can't heal. You can't heal. I done forgot. Wait a minute. It's on there.
Being real is to heal. I done forgot.
Okay, well it's on there. So I'm gonna have to go back and hear it so we can write that quote on your shirt.
So in closing, let me go ahead and do the summary. We went 360. We went all around everywhere because this is an intro to what we're gonna be doing to upcoming stuff. Right. You get an idea what we're working with and how many angles and perspectives we're coming from. And I really just want to inspire everybody. You know, I'm from the land, Cleveland, and I really care about all of our people just really being able to be the realest, because if we can thrive, we can survive. Oh. And I don't know why I just thought of Silver B speaking like that. And we can. I miss Silver B. Shout out to Silver B.
And that was a highly spiritual guy.
And Silver B at one point called me his protege. He was like, he used to introduce me. This is my protege.
Yeah, highly spiritual guy. That dude was love.
And nothing but love. This was a real brother who spoke very intuitively, and he spoke like from the dome. Like he spoke as he had. If you could speak more freely, you can operate more from your natural spirit. You can operate more from the level that you were originally made of. Because a lot of us are operating fraudulently. Yes, we're not operating from a real perspective of how we really think.
I just said fake people.
How we really are.
I just put the fake people on my
We've let the world, the mundane aspect of life, overrule our spiritual.
Yes, we do.
People are afraid to be the true spiritual.
They sure are.
There's a lot of spiritual. People use the word spiritual, and there's many evidences and operations of spiritualness. But the spiritual part I'm talking about is the original, the original self of being spiritual, the original quality of how you were created. When I say spiritual, I'm not speaking of no type of religion per se. I'm not speaking of no type of particular practices that were conjured by man. I'm speaking of only in terms of how we were made in the original state, and if we were not interrupted or disrupted or interfered with or somehow just rearranged, if we didn't have that at all, what would we be? I always look at that like that. That's why I like photography. Photography, to me, I started taking pictures about 11 of all types of whatever, because I discovered there were not many pictures of me in Cleveland. The last time I will see a picture will be my step parents having a picture of me on their wall in North Carolina. So I did not see no one with pictures of me too much at all as I got older. So I became engrossed in photography because of that reason. And a good reason why photography was also really major for me, because of the struggles I went through in life as a child. Some things I can't remember. And photography is a reflector. It's like a reflector. It's like a map to your memory when you can't remember. It's a help to that. So when you need to remember or to go back,
that's why my daughter always send me pictures, Yana, because Yana want to be a photographer.
I love photography.
She takes pictures of and she sends me stuff. Remember this, Mom? And she always got good memories. My daughter said they all had good memories growing up, which is a beautiful thing.
That's good, because your memory has a lot to do with your ability to relate. Your memory has everything to do with how your perception. Memory is also important for intellectual development and how you apply yourself. But back to what photography, people looking back so they won't forget. Because I'm not trying to be some type of philosopher, but I just want to say, when you have pictures and compare it to life, and you have those. You may be able to remember a lot of the pictures, but those pictures are the evidence of your memory to help you recapture in case you forgot. In case you forgot.
Yes, it is.
Memories can tell you of an essence that you possess, a quality that you really have that you may have forgotten about. That's why I believe children should see their pictures. They should be able to remember who they are.
Yes.
People forget who they are and what they are about, and that's how you get lost. That's my opinion as to that's why you get lost.
I'm so glad you. I'm so glad you're a communicator.
And when you get lost,
right.
How long is it gonna take you to find yourself?
Yeah.
And what is it gonna take? And how do you get lost? You get lost not remembering your foundation, not knowing where you came from,
right?
Not knowing what you really are and why you are and how powerful and good you are. People self-destruct because they get lost. They get lost because they either never knew who they were or forgot who they were.
Right.
That's my opinion.
That's where the health and wellness package used to come in. When I first started doing my research on that, I used to give them things away, and I'm the one that's making them from my pocket. Like, I'm like, just take it. I was going to try and see, let's take the packet. Just take it, please. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted so badly for them to see the research that I have. Because I wanted people to see things and maybe be more in tune with themselves and love themselves a little bit more. And
Khadijah Kreations is an enterprise. This is a walking enterprise. This is the world's greatest hustler on a positive note. People have been ashamed to say the word hustler. I'm a hustler. That's one of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite songs.
I used to dance to that song.
Because you can hustle anything. Hustle is not bad. I remember I was pulled up to somebody. You know I'm Adlibs. Just say what I want to say. And I pulled up to somebody. What's your hustle? I don't hustle. I work. I said, what? Hustle is anything you do that's your productivity that is work.
Right.
I couldn't believe he looked at the word. But like I said earlier, words have negative and positive connotation. What makes it positive and negative is how much it was used. How was it used? How often? If it was used more often negatively, it develops a negative connotation. If it uses the word more positively, it develops a positive connotation.
Right.
But
I didn't have a job from 1999 when I caught that case until I moved out of here. So, I mean, luckily I had creative ability for the crocheting. So that was part of my hustle. I was making, the leg warmers and the hats to match because I learned that, and it's like, I better get more creative because I need money, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to festivals and I'm, as you would see me doing a massage and have my chair up there with the juices and the kids selling their juices. That was their money, like get them, sell them juices, sell candy bars. I would go get them candy bars and have them sell it and put their money up. That's your money that you made. You know what I'm saying? Taking something and just being creative because I really didn't. I mean, you would thought I had money. I was working every day, but I wasn't. I was working my mind of creativity. What can I do? I go to the thrift stores, buy yarn.
And that is the way it's supposed to go. That's called self-determination and self-reliance. And that's how we originally were made. I think the Most High, I believe the Most High, Creator as all should, and the Most High gave us ability to think, gave us hands.
Because I hated I couldn't get a job again. I'm like, I can't get a job.
Yeah.
That right there was but I have
self-sufficiency is the word I'm looking for. Self-sufficiency is supposed to be an automatic quality.
Yeah.
We're supposed to know how to do that. If you didn't have what you think you're supposed to have from the grocery store, you better have something in this household that you can still put together for you to eat. That's creativity. That's self-sufficiency. There's even if you needed something, your brain and your spirit and your mind should automatically be inclined to go out
and be creative,
do something.
The real people.
That's real creativity, and for those who are
and that's how the old school used to do back in the day, how they put stuff together. And
I think when you worship properly and you worship your true God, because there's many gods. Yeah. Because Almighty wasn't playing. It was a reason why the Almighty said don't worship other gods, because there was other gods. There's other things to be gods, other places, Things are worship today, and I'm not gonna take it religiously all like that. I'm just gonna throw that in there real quick because we're going all over the place.
Okay. Yeah.
Things can be worshipped. People, places, and things. I don't know about places. Can places be worshipped? Places. People and things. You know, even animals, I heard, was worshipped in past history. Animals are being worshipped now, it look like. You got animals got more precedence than humans. Animals are being left, animals are being left mansions and stuff like that. That's another day, another topic. There's a lot to talk about. It's kind of bad. I'm scattered. I mean, scatterbrainedness, I guess, received a negative. Everybody, talked about being scatterbrained, but being that scatterbrained on these topics is pretty good.
Yeah, this was pretty good. I enjoyed this. Talking just came up and this was right on point.
So in closing, I'm gonna get ready to close it off on what I really opened it up about, because this is our little introduction to how we're gonna piece up our dialogue. I don't know what we're gonna call it. I just know that everybody get an opportunity. It's gonna be probably more structured. It has to be structured because it's gonna be a lot of time. And I don't know who wants to watch or hear us for longer than an hour.
Well, yesterday I was just on Radio 1, Voice It Radio with Al. I went to this. I hadn't did this in years. I never been there, but I just popped up like you just popped up here today.
Yeah.
I popped up over there. Okay, coming from Leela House. I just got home. That's why when you said where you at, I'm on my way home to figure out how I'm getting to Minner.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I got up early this morning, man. I'm like, I don't know how I'm getting out to no Lake County, man, but I'm gonna figure this out because this job thing, and it worked out. You know what I'm saying? But I went with him. I came over. He said, "Oh, you going with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, you said you was on the radio station. I was on time and everything. This wasn't even planned. I was supposed to be coming over here to pay for the booth, really." And another guy that wanted to get a booth, but I didn't make it. I said, "Let me go see." I went over there and we had fun, And he was like, "I had the best day." He sounded like he was encouraged and everything. And all we did was catch the bus over there where Jamila lived, over there in that area.
It makes a difference. Yeah, on Woodland. It makes a difference where it makes a difference who you vibe with. That's a topic to be discussed as well.
Yeah.
It makes a difference on recognizing good vibration over bad vibration, because everything is good and bad.
And the guy asked me when am I going to be interviewed? The guy that was doing the sounds, I just met him. What's his name? Little Baby Boy or DJ Baby Boy or something.
That sounds like somebody new.
Well, he was the one, and because I was interviewing.
Because the creator is Porter, last name Porter as well.
Oh.
The owner or the creator.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's my understanding, but that was years ago. I don't know what has changed.
Is it a lady?
Male.
Oh.
That for Voice It?
For Voice It Radio.
The creator for Voice It.
Okay.
Okay.
But this is my first time here yesterday. Okay, so it was like I said, the guy was like, "You a spiritual advisor? You should be on here." He said, "I said."
Oh, he wants you to have your.
He said that's a whole different. And then they got all these mics sitting up there, and I'm like, wow, this is, But he's interviewing them, and I'm coming up with ideas and then she comes over here today, and I'm like,
you're pulling it together.
Yeah.
You're pulling it together.
Maybe we
the
can
thing
go
about
there
you,
and sit there, because he was like, he said you could be on the radio station asking people questions.
Yes.
He was like, you could be asking people questions about their readings.
And individually.
Yeah.
And individually.
Right.
It just depends on
because you can sit there
the avenues on how many people are connected and knowing to get in and making sure that they're aware. Because even if you did it there, that's that avenue. Then if you did it elsewhere, that's that avenue, because you don't know where people are making the connection and when. But so this is what I'm gonna say about this. So I can conclude it on what we started.
Right.
Because it's been an hour almost.
Okay, it has? Wow.
I don't know what time we started, but I feel like it's been about 50 minutes.
Look at the minutes up here, 49.
Oh, 50, yeah.
It's 49 minutes. Look at you, girl.
That's another thing on the guess. I wish I was like on the lottery. I guess time real accurately a lot.
What you talking about lottery?
I don't play lottery for real.
8 year means money. 6 months means
I
money.
win the lottery.
That means the money coming somewhere.
How is it coming up? I mean, I got all the abilities. I just need to know which way am I going to put it.
It's coming through this that you're starting today with this business here. This can come in that way. It can come from somebody owing you some money, maybe a lawsuit, something. Did you ever have a lawsuit? Did you about to get your pay?
I do have a lawsuit.
Hey, how did I know that? I don't know.
Well, because you're talking about money and you're wondering.
Right, and I'm putting together what the year
But-
mean and with the month,
Okay.
it means money. So somewhere there's money about to shoot here this month. So, I mean, I know I'm not wrong when I say that.
I just know that I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all might think I'm a damn fool for this. I don't like handling money. It's deep. What the hell is wrong with me? I've been that way all my life. I like making the money. I don't like managing it.
Okay.
Isn't that
Well,
something?
did you honest? But did you honest that you might need somebody that can handle the money?
I really.
Yeah.
If and here we go, y'all.
And that's
This is
okay.
all
You need
really
somebody
real
to
right now.
balance-
This
to
is the
balance
appropriate
you.
time right now. This is what you need to get. This is the type of realness I'm talking about. I really wish that my partnership would just hurry up. Like I feel like I get dizzy.
Are you putting it
I
out
get
there in the
dizzy
universe?
on the fact that I meet people,
Uh-huh.
and it seems like, okay, well, which one is it? Because I believe that I'm one of those people who would always, more so than not, have potential, the potentials
It's more
of a
than
partner.
potential.
Some people don't have it, or they don't acknowledge it. I'm the one that don't do that. I don't just let the things go by me and say, oh, I'm just gonna just stay like this. The Lord gonna bless me. The Lord is blessing you. The Lord is blessing you. Catch it.
Catch it.
I'm not trying to be one of them. I'm just gonna wait.
Wait, I'm just gonna
Because I
wait
know
for
the Lord bringing it. The Lord bringing it.
Right.
I'm one of them that I really believe that more so than not, the opportunities is more than one.
And this is
Often.
it. This is it.
But it's hell trying to figure out who is it? Who is it? I'm not trying to say tell me, but I'm just like, let's nip this.
Well, let's
And
go
I do
by
got a
the-
guideline. My guideline is I got certain rules.
Mhm.
My certain rules because I have to have those rules because when you got that much activity going on in that space where you're attention tracking, you got to make sure that you're not off your course.
And her
Because one thing
personality,
about
she has
being
a personality of attention tracking.
yeah, that's what
You have
I'm saying.
attention track-
When
yeah,
you
your
know what your qualities
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
that can reel them in, baby. But at the same time, categorization is a big deal to me.
Mhm.
Knowing who needs to be where, what needs to be where, order. Even though I'm a scatter with thoughts, when it comes to execution, it's gotta have order for me.
Mhm.
And when I'm trying to do something, order.
Like that guy in the elevator, that is like a nice little,
That was.
match. He was like, you
I didn't think.
tall. He, you know, even though he got his little
Sometimes
colors
I
and
can
stuff.
feel it.
So he do his colors and stuff, but he's, you know, tallness, y'all seen that?
Do y'all want to hear
I just got
something?
some
This
attraction
is how
there.
spontaneous I want things to be with people talking and calling in. I really want. We need to get a number. We need to hurry and get the number.
Yeah, that's supposed to be my.
And you know what? When I was in my 20s, I always wanted a chat line. But I want my chat line to be alive and well, not just you dating. Chat line like call in. And when I was young, I really used to invest so much time like the ghetto psychologist. I'm serious. Somebody said that one day, I just ran away with it. Like the ghetto psychologist, I really put in like maybe about 10 years of accidentally being a ghetto psychologist. But it was really like just being there for somebody to be able to talk to. So this is a realistic level that I think is a good opportunity to do if people embark upon it. It's not gonna be no fun and no real effort if there's nobody that's wanting to.
But
to
they are,
vent or
because
talk
you
or
are the
create.
you are the one that make the party. You are the party. It's in us. No
Yeah.
matter where we go,
There's a party
there's
going
a
on.
party on. It's gonna be a party.
It's a
So
party.
so as long as you got them qualities, don't even worry about the people.
I-
You already got everything in you. Everything is within you.
I love having.
Yeah.
The thing I do love, you're right about the party, because the thing I do love making it look like I know what people make the party.
Yeah, you are.
And it's like,
Because every time
and you know, believe it or not, some people, have you noticed this, how some people act like they different with other people, and you can actually see that. Like, they don't act like this when they with me.
Right.
Why they act like that when they with
You know why?
They so different.
Because the chemistry is
The
not.
chemistry do
The
be different
chemistry
amongst
is
different
different.
people.
It depends. Just because it's with you that way, don't mean it's gonna be with them. that way.
Absolutely.
So you know, I learned that too because I didn't understand it either. I'm like, what is the problem here? Everybody seemed cool with me, but when they feel it in, it's like, you know what I'm saying? They don't, you know. So everybody energy, you know, they got to feel the energy. If it ain't the energy ain't right, then they ain't gonna be receptive. I mean, but
Speaking
certain
of-
people got that.
Speaking of energy, right, that goes back into what I started off with. We in 44 minutes of this. And
We can get
I
off
feel
the
like
topic.
I don't know how to.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know how
we get off
to
the topic.
time myself properly. I need
Okay,
to go
go
to
ahead.
timing. That's what my timing is bad at. But anyway, my feelings and what I've assessed of myself today. I don't know how long it's been going on, but I know I've taken notice of it today. I'm feeling like I need to know, for one, if you are a friend, indeed, to be a friend on the males. We're talking about the males. Are you a friend just to be the friend? Or are you the friend to be more? Because even when more, you want friendship. You know, for me, I've always mastered knowing how to be a friend, I think. I believe. I thought I mastered it too well, especially with the opposite sex. I thought I mastered it too well, so much so that I didn't know how to be more. There's a chance that could be.
Because that's what maybe the chemistry was between y'all. I mean, it depends with your, I mean, you know, with the relationship.
Well, yeah, but I think that I've done it so well, too well with. I think I'm to the point where the opposite sex in general, I probably behave that way.
Really?
It seems like it. It seems like I have mastered being the friend and nothing more. I don't really care for. Because
you want to discipline yourself and your emotions and just get to know somebody on that level and not on a.
I think that
sexual
it
level.
was natural. For one thing, it was natural from childhood.
Okay.
How to be the friend. Even though I feel like in childhood the pressures of being more than a friend was heavier.
Right.
I just didn't. Do you think that having a lot of interests makes it like that? Having a lot of hobbies, do that make it that way? Or is it just it all started from my childhood, I believe, though. Even from childhood, my male friends would be waiting on me to get my hair braided. They'd be in the living room. They'd be like 3 of them. Wait for me to get my hair braided. Come on, let's kick it. They'd be sitting there. Done? Let's go kick it. And it's still like that. Like, ain't nobody in my living room, though, now. I'm older. But I know how to be the friend. But I've met a lot of men. This is like regular dialoguing. They don't have to be no one who's in pursuit of me. But I've met men who I've seen admit to not ever know how to be a lady's friend. And that's just confusing to me. Because I had the opposite life of that. As a kid on up, I knew how to be the friend to the male. I believe that you can be so much that men might even be intimidated by that. Maybe that's it. Maybe I knew how to do that too well. Maybe I'm too sisterly. Maybe I'm not community P. I don't want to get that impression because I do be like, it might just be community P. No, it's just maybe I'm too community oriented to where I don't seem like I'm giving enough to the male. And this will be the next topic of discussion because this is like the end of this intro to our Adlibs show. Yeah, it's almost 60 minutes.
Oh, so we started at 8.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to definitely be a subject as to, you know, I don't know what topic will be called, but sisters are going to be emphasizing this. Brothers can as well, as to giving us insights and taking a look at that. Because if you have the makings of being a woman that is partnered, you should be that. There's enough people in the world. There's enough decent people. It's not that they're all
but are they
not
the one
heterosexual
for you?
or they're
but
not.
Are they the one for you?
I believe there's enough people in the world that there is one for everyone that wants one.
Of course.
I just think that
person
people are conditioned.
But maybe that person didn't bump into that person yet.
That too.
Or that chemistry may not be.
But listen, I believe that if you're not bumping into them, something tells me that you're not. That's even impossible. That could be happening for a period of time, but I don't think it's going to be happening for all your life. You're going to cross paths.
Of course.
It's just if you're crossing paths, it's got to be something that a person is doing or not doing to not allow that connection.
Right.
That's what I believe. So sometimes it's just conditioning. People are conditioned. This is what I really believe deep in my heart. People that are having trouble partnering are having these problems because there is a conditioning that is still in effect that is not working. There is a trait and habit that is going on that has to be reversed, and something else has to be relearned.
Or maybe they blocked. Maybe
that's what it is. Always, if there's something that ain't that's not being achieved, there's some type of difficulty, and you know how to achieve it. So it is 1 hour.
Okay, awesome.
I would say thank you. I want to hear everybody that gets to watch this give their input. I know that I overtook the show. My apologies.
Well, you the star of the show.
Not really. We're both the stars.
Well, okay, but I'm saying we the stars. I mean, we got to. You know what I'm saying?
So we just doing an introduction to
a beautiful thing.
To kind of give some of our colleagues and some of our potential co-hosts opportunity to say, yes, I'm on board. I could be on board, but can we do this? Can we do that? This is like a very good introduction to saying where we're headed and how we can build and grow as a nation in Cleveland. So thank you. I'm Miss Commentary Cleveland.
Khadijahs Kreations.
Yep.
This was beautiful. It was spontaneous. You put on me to express this today, and you actually made me see a different side of my house as a studio part. And I was trying to think today, what am I going to do with this place? I'm trying to clean it up, paper everywhere. I'm like, this place needs something. I mean,
so once again, that timing.
The timing was right on point. I washed the dishes today. I know that thing was full of dishes. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And then she comes and say, oh, why don't you do this and this? And brought my speaker over I've been waiting for 5 days on this for my speaker. But yeah, she hooked it up, man. It's awesome.
So we thank you, and we look forward to seeing how we make this happen amongst us as a people, and as some growing and some striving individuals, as this is a community effort to make sure that we all live our truth. All right, peace. Thank you.
Thank you.